Joining me now is former prosecutor Faith Jenkins, former U.S. Attorney Kendall Coffey, now MSNBC legal analyst, and Dr. Marshall Hennington, a nationally recognized trial and jury consultant. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Dr. Hennington, you deal with jury analysis. I noticed that Don West, who's one of the lawyers for Mr. Zimmerman, was asking potential juror B29 about how Trayvon's death affected her as a mother. Listen to this.
Did it affect you in any particular way because you're a mother yourself? You have children around the same age of Trayvon.
As any mother, it would affect to lose your child. Whether in a car accident or for gang violence, of course it affects any mother.
Now, before you answer, I just want viewers to understand the reason we're showing Zimmerman is they do not put cameras on potential jurors to protect their privacy and to protect them. So they shoot the defendant or the lawyers in the courtroom. But go ahead, Dr. Hennington. What does this kind of questioning of a potential juror mean?
Well, basically, they want to tap into how jurors as a whole on that panel feel about young men that have been victimized, and also have they formed any opinions with respect to Mr. Zimmerman's guilt. The fact of the matter is that a young man lost his life. It was mentioned by Mr. Coffey earlier that this trial is about guns and, should there be a ban placed on guns, more stricter bans or not. But this trial is about race, and jury selection is the most important aspect of this particular trial. It's absolutely crucial to get the right jurors on this trial that can be fair and impartial. That's going to be extremely difficult. Both sides have an uphill battle. The prosecutors have to prove their case to these jurors that it was Mr. Zimmerman who was the aggressor. It was Mr. Zimmerman who did not pay attention to the 911 calls that came in. When that woman that was on the other side of the 911 calls, the operator mentioned specifically to him to not follow Mr. Martin, to stay exactly where you are until help arrives. He didn't follow the orders according to the 911 tape. So that's going to be an uphill battle for the defense to really be able to defend Mr. Zimmerman's actions.
Now, another part of this whole jury selection, Dr. Hennington, is when you look at how some of the jurors have known or may have heard about this case. For example, when you hear the questioning with juror B30 talking about what his girlfriend told him about the case. Listen to this.
My girlfriend had her opinion about it, and she thinks that she told me she thought that Mr. Zimmerman should have stayed in his car, and that could have alleviated the whole thing.
How pertinent is getting secondhand opinions going to be in jury selection, and how do you deal with this as you go through this process of jury selection?
Well, that's a great question, Reverend Sharpton. The fact of the matter is that everyone's heard about this case, okay? Everyone's formed a particular opinion about this case. And for any individual to say that his girlfriend told him some information about the case, but yet, of course, I haven't formed an opinion, is absolutely absurd. The fact of the matter is that everyone has a particular bias, either in support of Mr. Zimmerman or against Mr. Zimmerman. But the fact is that what the attorneys are going to have to do is really dig deep to find out if there are biases that will impact their side of the case. Neither side has a slam dunk case. Both sides have problems with their case. This case has gotten international exposure, all right? And unless you're living under a rock, you've heard something about this case. You've formed some particular opinions about this case, and you have certain biases with respect to this case as well. So that's the challenge of each side. The jury questionnaire is going to be extremely important for them to get the most key pertinent information from these jurors that they would not be able to ask in an open court setting. And a lot of times you can use that questionnaire to really gather some compelling information so that you can build your case based on some of the themes that come out during the questionnaire that they review.
Faith Jenkins, Kendall Coffey, and Dr. Marshall Hennington, thank you all for your time tonight.